Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing this Monday, this fine Monday evening? Let's get in here and pray. Okay. I pray that your Monday has been amazing. Mine has been amazing. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary, and I mean that. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left hand side, 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. Okay. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will be formed. But I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, Thoth, and Arumala. They left behind. Why? Because God is calling everybody that's willing to come. Okay. Walk in it instead of fussing about what it looks like. Just saying. It's easy to fuss, but are we willing to walk? Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4, think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on you, you will keep me in perfect peace. It don't make sense, but it makes faith. And what I have faith in, I'll believe. And what I believe, I'll act on. And what I act on, I'll see in the spirit before it hits over here in this realm right here. Because the spirit realm is a realist. This realm been played around with so many times. You don't know who's who no more. Okay. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me, and I am you. Let me tell you something. I got my big rock. Let me tell you something. I got my big rock because I can't find my small one right now. I'll find it in a little bit. Let me tell you something. God placed a small allspark in everybody's heart that was born on this earth of a woman. Why? Because God is not an aspect of love. God is love. So he placed an aspect of himself in every human that was born of a human woman womb. Okay, so what that means is when you were born in your vessel, you had a degree of love in you, or how the scripture says, God is giving each person born of a womb of a woman a measure of faith. It's up to you how you use that measure of faith. Ephesians 3:20 says it best. God will do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think, but it's based on how you work it. So the love is based on how you work it. It could be a foot outside of you. It could be 3. It could be 10. It could be 20. It could be 30. It could be up to 100 feet outside of you. It could be it because it's going to be inside of you. But how far does your love go outside of you is based on how you operate it on your everyday basis. We get a chance to all the tests, challenges, and trials we get every day. Do we go towards love, or do we go towards hate, bitterness, strife, fighting? It's up to you. God gave us the tools, but are we working it? These are questions I'm having to ask myself more and more every day. Okay. Especially after this weekend. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We made all this stuff to put in between us and God. We made religion, we made preachers, we made priests, we made cathedrals, we made mosques, we made all of these things. And God said, I don't have a problem with none of that. But can you come to the Creator before you go to the creation? Before you go to the creation looking for a confirmation, can you come to me and talk to me first? He said, you're looking for a word, but have you come and talk to the Creator? So when you go to the creation, it's a confirmation and not your original word. That's all God wants us to come to him first. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God. Your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or this universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I'm going to think of something, I'm going to tell you about it. Guess what? God is higher than that because there's going to be a word that can be placed in a sentence. And then it can have a punctuation at the end, depending on how I tell you. No matter what phrase, no matter how I say, it's still a sentence. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There is no lack, only provision. You're more than enough, and you supply all I need. Let me tell you something. God supplies all we need, but how are we using it when it's supplied originally? Are we wasting the supply? Because it's gonna come to us. And it may not look the way we were thinking it was gonna look, but the need is gonna be supplied. And are we putting it in, as the scripture says, are we putting it in a storehouse so it's able to be used when it needs to be used, or are we wasting the the needed seed before time? Things I'm asking myself since this weekend. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy. That is my blood. That's my blood bought right, my birthright. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. Nothing. God is my source and not the things on the outside of me. God will use people on this earth to bless me. But wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not the east and the west and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. God will show up in a pinch if you believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is over here and I'm over here and God says, get up and come to me, that means I have to change my perspective and come to God. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me. Man, man. I can we just talk about how wonderful God is right here? I am so glad that God challenged me on a lot of stuff. And I am so glad, instead of getting offended, I worked the process before this weekend came. There's a lot I'm going to tell you. Some stuff I'm not going to tell you because it's personal. But the wisdom part, I will share. Mm, mm, mm. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no getting even with people. Ain't no arguing with them. Let me tell you. Woohoo! This worked in real time. Okay, real time. I talk about it all the time. And in this small world I live in, and then I was able to be in the big world pond. And yes. Okay, instead of, because people gonna say stuff, they gonna just do stuff because people love labels. We love labels. We'll put a label on ourselves in a minute. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and we'll be attached to that label. And when you tell us to release the label, we'll fight you for it. Okay. Let me tell you something. Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator and ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it and send it back. So you can send it back to the sender, cleanse and purify. No blocking, no stopping, no path. No matter what they've done to you. No matter. Because let's talk about it at the end. At the end of the day, whatever you put out is coming back to you. 100, 200 to 300 times more. Cause and effect and sowing and reaping. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out, and I don't have to stress about all that stuff. Okay. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly. I leave it in the hands of God. Ain't no fussing and no stressing me out. Because while you doing little minuscule stuff, God saw all of that stuff. And I ain't got time to be stepping to that level. And smote it be and forevermore. Okay. Because what we not going to do is miss God's movement. Because I'm down here fussing with you. We're not going to do that. Look in the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. This is a one-on-one book with me and God. This book was done over a 3 to 4 year period. I still write all my stuff down and me and God talk about all the time. And so I was like, God, it got to be more than what's going on. He said, there he is. And so we were just having conversations, and I shared it with somebody, and they said, what you going to do with this book? And I said, well, this just me and God talking all the time. They was like, just. They tell me, use it. We here, go to the left, go to the right. They said, God is giving you Noah instructions how to build an ark on this thing. And I said, well, this just conversations we had. She said, they said, we need you to put this in a book because everybody don't have access like this. So I went ahead and put it in a book. And I have my own personal bookstore, but I also have a lot of stuff on Amazon. So you can just type up my name and you can just see all the stuff I have. Let me tell you something. It's no matter what your background, God is good. Let me tell you. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books for all that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. You will see a link to the podcast with the women leveling up. It was fun being there. There's also 2 other links in there of magazines. One is local, one national, one in September, one in October. I placed a link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about the venture. There are some freebies there just for you. I added a link of 105 spiritual laws. There were 7 in the initiate book and 12 in another. And I said, they can't just be a discrepancy. So I did some research, find us 105. The thing is, disclaimer. We do not live under the law. We live under grace. We live under the dispensation of time under what Jesus has already done for us. Okay. When Jesus, as we say, went to the cross or did the Kundalini awakening, where he changed his mindset, then showed us how to change our mindset step by step. He gave us breadcrumbs how to do this thing. However, we get the opportunity to follow the breadcrumbs and do it. Is it easy? Mm-mm. But anything worth having, is it easy? Mm-mm. So if you want something, you get the opportunity to tally up and let's go. Don't talk about it, be about it. You know, we talk about that all the time in this earth realm. Don't talk about it, be about it. What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? And so God is always asking, what you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? Okay. And it's just like the 10 Commandments. It says we have 10 commandments, okay, because that's what we have in Exodus. But if you look in the Torah, it's 613 commandments. Again, we don't live under the law. We live under grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with human affairs if we allow him to. I told him a long time ago, God, let me tell you something. No matter what's going on in my life, if something is going on and you can see it from up there, you can see it from here, and you can see it from your high perspective, do whatever you got to do to step in. I don't care what happened to everybody else in the situation. You make sure you get me out. Because you send me out on a mission. You send me out to go out here to do stuff. But you told me as your disciple, as your daughter, that you was going to always protect me. So I'm giving you free reign. If I get out here and something's going on and I can't see it, but you can, jump in. Okay, you don't need permission. Do whatever you got to do to get me out of this situation. Even if I'm kicking and fighting, honey, I'll be okay in the end. Okay. Why? Because we know everything, but we don't know anything. It's a paradox as being a human. We know everything because we have access to everything, but we don't know anything because the things that we try to hold on to, those are the things that will hold us back. Somebody keep it at my desk all the time. The things that we think we know and that we hold on to and we know better than anyone else will be the same things that will keep us in a cycle of repetition, going over the same stuff over and over again until we look at it in a different way. Okay. And that keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson. Talk to Me by Jesus, Stove, and Issue. Don't forget about your Adjective PDF as well as your Morals and Values PDF. That's our science project where you sit here and you take a picture of yourself first. Cheese. And then you say, let me get my Adjective PDF. I can be who I am right now, or I can change my adjective. It's your life. Do what you want to do. This is your persona. You can say, I'm tired of these janky promoters. I want my own life the way I want it. I want to live as a sovereign being, how God told me I can live. Think for myself. Hey, let's go. That's what this is about. Changing your whole persona, changing who you are. And then you're going to look at your 400 values and morals and values. Because what is it to gain the whole world and then still lose your soul? Because you out here, you falling for anything because you didn't have anything to stand on. You didn't have a firm foundation. Thank you, Israel Houghton and Newbury. You didn't have a firm foundation, so you believed anything instead of questioning. All right. Don't forget to sign up for, and then once you do that, it takes 28 days to change a mindset and to get you to flow with everything, okay? Because once you change your mind, you stay in that flow for 21 to 28 days. That's close to a month cycle. Once you do that, what happens is your body, your brain and your heart get in coherence, and they say, we got it. And then they go forward together. Okay. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Okay. And look at the link. I moved it, but look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with my all natural remedies for the assistance. In 2017, I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer, and it was life threatening. They said I had 6 months to live, and that was it. I said, "What you said on our doctor?" He said, "Yeah, you got 6 months. That's it. And we need to do immediate surgery because it's all on your left hand side and it's taking over, and we need to do immediate surgery." And then so I started asking the doctor some questions. The doctor was like, "No, not really." I said, "Huh?" And the doctor said, And I said, The doctor said, "No, that's not what I meant." And I said, "No, what we're not going to do is backpedal like what you didn't just say. I'm not finna put my life in your hands and you sitting up here lying in my face. You gaslight me. For you to say oops upside my head. Ain't nobody got time for oops because you done took the scalpel and cut too much. I ain't put my life in janky motor hands and you showing me you don't really care about me in my face. Really? So I went home and I said, I'm going to just put my life in my own hands because I'm good that way. And so I went home and I cried, "Hey, God, what we going to do?" My answer, God said, reach out to this naturopathic doctor. Step one, did that. When God give you steps, do exactly what he say. Write it down so you don't forget. Because this system, the enemy, your old, let's talk about it. The system, the enemy, and your old way of thinking is going to do everything to pull you back. So whatever you hear, write it down. Put it in your phone. Whatever you can do, put it down. Went outside, got the dandelion, got the that's where you get your roasted dandelion tea from and all this stuff. Because I did it first, and then I told the doctors asked me what I did, and I told them what I did, and they went and did research. That's how you got your tea. You're welcome. Okay. Then I got the dandelions, I got the morning glory, and then I got the grass that smells like onions, because that's what my ancestors said. And then they said to go out there and get that poke salad. It looks like lettuce, but it's got serrated edges, and it sits close to the ground, and it's got a little bit of fur on it. You know it when you see it. If you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, you'll see it. Okay. Honey, I went and got that stuff, put it together, put it underneath, put it with my spinach, and put that with my underneath my jasmine rice with my zucchini, squash, red onions, red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. Taste so good, honey. You can eat that raw with some Hidden Valley Ranch and some broccoli and some cauliflower, child. That's a good snack. Okay, honey. I did everything I needed to do. Oh, and don't forget drinking plenty of water. Okay, I did everything that my ancestors said, and I'm still sitting here. Thank you, God, every day. I thank God every day. Okay, that 100% silver shield. Okay, ain't nothing like it. Do what God tell you to do. Write it down. Once a month, I give 2 full scholarships to my transformational program designed to help you renew your mind and reclaim sovereignty over your own life. This is how it works. Number one, you're going to go to my webpage. Number two, you're going to look at page 1 when it says connect here, open that up. Number 3, you're going to fill out that short form and boom, you're in the join for a free private session to get started on your journey back to you. And you can say, well, I know myself, honey. I thought I knew myself too. But what happened was I wasn't asking questions anymore. And when you don't ask questions, you don't have full clarity. Instead of blindly believing everything everybody told you, girl, sir, Google be your best friend and the voice of God and your own intuition. What do you need to question? And what mask have you been wearing in your life? Okay, those are questions to ask yourself. I ask myself those questions just about every day. Psalms 91, 1 through 6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him and do. For he will rescue me from every trap and did. And he will protect me from every deadly disease and did. And he will cover me with his mighty feathers every day. And he will shelter me with his mighty wings every day. He is faithful to his promise. Let me tell you about his promises. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Promises. Promises. Come on here now. God said, you and me both, we go to God and we like, I want diamonds and pearls. God said, I want to give you the diamonds. I want to give you the pearls. I want to give you the rubies. I want to give you the emeralds. I want to give you the sapphires. I want to give you the onyx. I want to give you everything you said you wanted. However, I need you to become who I need you to become that person who can handle the characteristics of what you just asked me. So I'm gonna need you to become that same person. What you asking me? And I said, "What you saying?" He said, "Yeah. What you asking me for? I need you to become that. So when it comes to you, you can handle it and don't fall underneath the pressure and go against the 400 values that you said you were gonna have." Yes. Okay. He is my armor and my protection every day. Don't leave home without it, as they say, American Express. Okay, just add it in there. Don't come after me. I'm just using it because that's our standard today. Do not be afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at day, nor the dread of disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Because God already told us. David broke it down where he said in Psalm 23, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. No evil, for thou art with me. My rod and staff. Who knew that our cross that Jesus was talking about? He said, pick up your cross and carry it with you daily. We carry it's in our body. The spine and shoulder to shoulder is the cross. Go look in the mirror. Straight up cross. Okay. Who knew? Learning so much this year in 2025. Child, let me tell you. And then he said, carry your cross with you daily. And then he said, and my cup runneth over. That's prosperity overflow. And it will come to us mysteriously. It will come to us just magically. Because how God works, he works supernaturally. And it'll be like, oh my God, it is just, God is amazing. God is amazing. When you do the work, things just show up. It don't make sense because it makes faith. That's all I can say. And then if you go to Isaiah 53, it says, and God will send the angels to go before us to set asunder to make the crooked places straight, and God is always our rear guide. Okay, then you come back to Psalm 23, and it says, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I'm like, wait a minute. So God is always my rear guide. Being goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life, making sure I get everything that I said I wanted to get, and making sure that I stay in this thing because I asked for it no matter what comes. Okay. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. He said, if you stay in this, I got you. He said, lean on me. Lean on me when you're not strong. And I'll be your friend. What? He said, I'll pick you up and carry you when you can't be there. Hand over heart for your affirmation, however you choose. I am not society's script. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but of the flame from God. Source the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment and I monitor the use of my own energy. Come on here now. Because when I monitor the use of my energy, I don't waste it. I'm not out here just pouring it on the ground. Whoo. Have you ever heard God tell you something? And then it's like the sleepiest people on earth are watching your every move. It's a joke. Just laugh with me. Okay. It's funny how people can't see the cat in front of them, but can watch your every move. I've been peeping it for a minute, but never said a word. It's one of the things that God says, say, see it, say nothing. He said, now I need you to address the elephant in the room. Sometimes God will show you everything you need to see, and your soul will be ready to mount up with the regulators. Thank y'all, Warren G and Nate Dogg. We miss you, Nate Dogg. Then God says, I'm love, so find yours within. Then he goes over 1 Corinthians 13. And I said, listening. Because look, you ready to go, hey. God said, 1 Corinthians 13, that's a love chapter, just in case you don't know. The chapter before it talks about the gifts. And it's amazing how he talks about the gifts. Then the chapter right after the gifts, he said, now, you can have every gift that I just said, but if you don't have love, you out there making all this noise. Looking at that monkey with the symbol, he said, that's what you look like. The monkey with the symbol. I hear, then I need to see. I see and hear everything, and then I say, okay. And then he says, disconnect and let me handle it. I said, thank you. Okay. Then he says, these are my children. I will deal with them accordingly. Because they're not walking in love, that means they're underneath the law. Remember last time I said, if you're not underneath love, you're underneath the law. And if you're underneath the law, you're going to get handled by the law. Even if I'm in love, I'm still going to get handled by the law. But those that are not in love, because see, love covers. You got to go read it. Go read it for yourself. You don't have to. What I'm saying is you get the opportunity to read this to know what it's talking about. 1 Corinthians 13. Know what you're dealing with, because love covers a multitude of sins or negative thinking. Meaning whatever negative thoughts you got, God will come on top of you like an umbrella and cover you. Because you've already stepped into the love umbrella. Okay. And it covers the laws and the prophet. So if you're working in love, you don't have to worry about the others. Okay. If they take anything from you, this is what God said, they will wish differently once this is over. I said, oh my God. He said, I said what I said. God then told me, abide by justice and wholeness no matter where it is. He said, if you stay in love, you won't have to take up the cross of making them pay for what happened to you. He said, I said, vengeance is mine. Let me deal with everything. And you stay in love. And you keep doing what I tell you to do. Don't worry about it. He said, I allow you to see it so you can pray. Because your heart is fixed on a firm foundation. Firm foundation. Because it's fixed on a firm foundation, you can pray for them instead of judging them. Let me do what I do best and allow everyone to see themselves in their own mirror. I said, okay. Then he said, I made the laws for all spiritual beings to oblige themselves to. However, I hold my children to it that refuse to operate in the spirit of love. I will take care of every injustice and reward all justices. Nothing gets by me. Woo! He said, this is what got me. He said, I allow time to change the mind, but when that time is over, it is. It doesn't mean it still doesn't hurt. But I go inside and find out why it hurts like that. Everything is about me loving all of me. It ain't even about them. See, the minute I quit making it about them, I get to see me. Because see, if I can see it out there, then I get to see where it's in here. There's a scripture that says, while I'm pointing out the toothpick in your eye, I got a whole beam sticking out my chest. Okay. Symptoms, burping and coughing early this morning. I was like, okay, I must be going through a process. Okay. Up early to meditate and talk to God, checking on my frequency to flow with all God is doing. I didn't push down any of my feelings or my emotions because they were stuff that was going on. Okay. There was stuff that was going on, and I dealt with the emotion. Did I feel it? Yep. Did I act like a kid for a second? I sure did. And I said, well, we got to go through this whole process. You got to go through the whole process. The whole process. The feeling it, the denial, everything. Ooh, this the whole process. Does it get old? It does. But if you go through the whole process, when it tries to come back, there's nothing to hit. I had to start singing to bring myself back. It's happening quicker because I know my triggers. And it's easier to bounce back from anything. Plus, there were messages everywhere to help me on shirts, pants, billboards with just, honey, it was on shirts. Don't forget to smile. Keep going and don't look back. I got you. Don't worry. I was like, wait a minute. I saw it on somebody's shirt. I said, I need that shirt. Then I saw on a billboard, it's Indian. I said, that was me. Oh, okay. Um, and I'm just noticing some extra signs now when I get around people that are not who they say they are. More signs are coming out. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but more signs are coming out. I allow myself to slow down and just be so much. Just be, because so much was going on. So I had to slow down to find my flow again. I quoted something I heard. I am the power and the creator of my own life. I heard it somewhere and I don't remember where it was. That was put, and I pulled it closer to me to flow in it. Every day isn't easy, but wisdom helps me stay connected. I met someone. Okay. So I was in some travels, and I met someone, and we were talking, and I thought we was gonna have a spiritual conversation, but things just shifted left, and I was like, dang. Okay. And so what happened was they was caught up in their degrees and their spiritual experiences and their degrees of spiritual work, talking about I got this degree and that degree and I did this weekend and I saw this and I was talking to this and I was talking to that. And I was like, but how's your connection to God? Woo! Why did I say that? I just asked one question. And I just asked it because God asked me to ask. Otherwise, I was just going to sit there and listen, be like, mm-hmm. So God said, don't say nothing. And then all of a sudden I heard, ask this. Then I did the most forbidden thing when you're dealing with anything that's of this system, of this world. After I said, well, how's your relationship with God? Why you got to bring up God? And I said, well, how's your relationship with Jesus? The sirens went off like the nuclear war sirens. Child, I thought he was gonna bite a piece out of the glass. Okay, kept talking about all this trance that you got to be in trance to connect with God. I said, no, you don't. You just talk to him. I said, you're making it too deep. Um, uh, Woo, he started raising his voice. I was like, wait a minute now, we don't need all this. No, we were just talking to each other so kind of like this, and now you raising your voice. I said, okay, I'm not upset. And then he asked me all these questions. And I said, ooh, that's in depth. I said, I flow with God. He said, what? I said, I just go wherever God tell me to go. He said, that's not telling me what you do for a living. I said, yes, it does. Whatever God tells me to do, that's what I do. I listen to God. I said, this whole conversation, everything that I just asked you was because God asked me to ask you. And you gave him the answers. Child, he got so upset. And the people that was there, they was just like, oh my God. And he got up and walked off. His ego was just rearing up so hard. And I was like, and I just laughed. But then I said, Renetta, we're going to have to check our ego and see what's going on right there. Because his ego was, woo. I said, okay. Then I wrote down, check the ego. Then I started watching this video. Child, why was I crying watching a National Geographic video? Yes, of a salmon dying to feed its young. And they would never know their parents. I cried so hard. I mean, boo-hoo. I mean, I had to get up from where I was, run to the bathroom, and get in the stall and get myself together. Reflecting on every moment I had today. And, yeah. And how I called it out with gentleness. The funny thing is, the people I met were en route to go to the next level, and some will never see it. Their ancestors were furious. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, that one particular person I was speaking with, his ancestors was over his shoulder like, dude, you don't even know who you're talking to. You don't even know. And I was looking at him like, I am just following what God is telling me to do. I don't have labels. And he was looking at me and they was just like, but do you know who you are? I was like, yes, I know who I am. But I don't put labels because when you put labels, you miss God, you know? So, yeah. So, okay. And then I saw a lot of discontented faces and it was like this. And we call it the gas face from Eric Sermon and EPMD. Do, 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 do. They got the gas face. Oh my God. And they were getting so upset because that face means I need you to play your part. And I decided not to play my part in the game. I decided to be myself. And that's what I got the gas face. And so that particular person, ancestors was just talking. They was so loud. And they was like, look, we want to work with you. Forget what he doing. We need to be on the mission that you on. And I was like, I don't get to make them calls. And he looking at me as I'm talking to them. He looking at me like, what you talking about? You don't get to make the calls. I said, I'm talking to something in the spirit realm. He like, who are you talking to? And it was just too much to explain. So it was too hard to explain. So I just didn't explain it. I just left it alone. Because he was already in his ego. And if I would try to explain it, oh my God, he'd have probably combusted. Okay. and then, and then the next thing I know, I heard a guy say, some of his ancestors are already on your team. And I said, what you mean? He broke down what it was. I was like, oh, that's who they are. Got it. They was like, nah, but we ruthless. We ruthless over it. They were trying to sell to me. I said, don't sell to me. The person who you sell to is God. I don't have no control who on my team or not. Confirm my ancestors have completely connected to me and they are protecting me from their levels of influence, either in the light or the underworld. Anyone that comes after me now will have to receive instant access to an overflow of what they sent to me or did to me. And I said, what? God said it. I was observing people playing their roles in life. I cringed because I remember. And every day I checked on me. To be honest with myself, it's not always easy, but I still did it. Because I had to pull myself in the carpet and like, are you playing a role? Are you really being yourself? Like my crown is like wide open right now. My third eye is like wide open right now. Like wide open. I was looking at the seeds and things I released this week. Um, and before then, and I was thanking myself for going forward, even when fear was pushing at my door. No matter how long you've walked with God, you still get nervous about what's next. Why? God is always pushing the levels to the max. So you never get to be in your comfort zone. It pushes you past comfort zone. Excuse me, confirmation burp. That can be nerve wracking. When you flowing with God, get your financial state in order. I'm not saying I got it together, but I'm so glad that last month I sat down with myself. I am so glad that last month I sat down with myself and made a budget. I know people don't like to set a budget and live by it. I'm so glad I did that. So when you hear jump, you can say how high and not wait a minute, let me get prepared. Had I not prepared, many things would have fallen to the ground. I was put in some situations where I had to use my intuition. Seriously, they were very dangerous situations. But I saw the game before they were able to play their hands because I listened to my intuition. Looking inside a lot and asking, where is that still in me? And so many other things to mention. So too many other things to even mention. Child, I was looking at myself and learning so much. I saw some things while traveling that had me thinking. I saw a man on a motorcycle that was hit by a car, and he was with two people. He was on the ground, grabbing his leg and screaming. I couldn't hear the screaming, but I could see him holding himself, and the tears were just running down his face as we drove by. And the people that was with him on the motorcycles were just looking at him. And I said, oh my God, so they ain't gonna call. So he was calling 911 on the phone because they were just talking to each other like what was going on with him didn't even matter. I was like, wait a minute. The man on the ground was holding on to his hip in pain and crying and calling the ambulance. A light went off in my head. Those weren't his people. They just watched and did nothing. Matter of fact, they was having a conversation like he didn't even matter. Just looking with their helmets on, talking to each other. I was like, this whole scene is off completely. That scene stayed with me the whole weekend. Why? How many of us felt this way with people around us that we thought would help us? This is why religious attachments to on levels is key. If people help, okay. If they don't, God has your back. I might have to do some research and find another way that may not be as easy at first, but it also allows me to be in sovereignty of my own life. Is it easy? Mm-mm. But I get to choose how I live on my own terms. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and wake up in their own timing. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own timing. Okay? Keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care for them, but what are they showing you? Are you really paying attention? Take them labels off and pay attention. Some want to connect only when they feel you growing. Let them go to learn their own lessons. They will hold you down for moving forward. Just let go. It will be okay. God has you and them. Trust that and let go. Even with tears in your eyes. Okay. Because that's real. That's real. James 1:19-21, NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power and your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness God desires. So get rid of the negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. For it has the power to save our souls. It does. When you really look at what God put in us. Verses like the Quran 17:53 and 4:148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander, and speaking the truth. The same spiritual laws go with every religion, it don't matter. And also look up 156 in the Quran. You'd be surprised what you find right there. Do you know who you really are? It's time to get into our studies, whatever we're in, it doesn't matter. Pray, meditate, and find out who we really are. Be so secure when tests, challenges, upheavals come. You bounce back quicker than you did before. Okay. Because, honey, you need that bounce back. Because sometimes stuff comes and you don't even see it coming. I'm still saying, there are a lot of stuff I'm still saying. Why? Because I'm worthy of love. I am, because that's my blood bought right. That's my birthright. Because if God placed himself in my heart, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of a life I love. I'm worthy of being worthy. I'm worthy of everything I desire. I am worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. I am worthy of that. That is my birthright. That is my that is my blood bought right. To feel wealthy in all realms. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart because God placed that dream right here. That is our covenant. That dream won't let you rest. That's the covenant you got with God. I release timelines that are no longer for me. I release you, you release me. No reason to hold on. I sever every connection. You can keep going. Keep going, honey. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. I don't need to shrink. Child, I can wear what I want to wear, be who I want to be. I don't have to put on ass for you because you don't like me no way. So why am I playing? I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. Okay, stillness will do something for you. It'll allow you to see yourself. And you be like, I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I'm never alone. I have my ancestors, the angels, and God. A threefold cord is not easily broken. I'm secure in knowing, even if no one is walking with me, I am never alone. Because I have people in the clutch. Child, you don't want to mess with those clutch friends. Angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. I promise you, it never fails me. I get in nature, and sometimes I cry. Sometimes mouth wide open. It's just beautiful. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Mm, 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 mm. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't usually do this. They just can't help it. I can't help it either. But if God say let go, I let go. I put my hands up. I leave it alone. I have miracles every day, and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. Because if God say do this right here, I'm gonna do that right there. That's what I'm gonna do. And then now I'm in alignment, and then stuff just follow me. Am I scared when I do it? Probably most of the time, but I'm using courage to keep going. I don't consent to any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burn. I sever every connection. No reason to keep it. I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. Why? Because God put them heart desires there. They didn't just pop up. That was a covenant that I made with God before I left his presence. We're heavenly beings. That's why we're spirits. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. Let me tell you something. God will give you some wisdom. Hold on to that. You ain't got to fight for what belongs to you. I am worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness in any moment. I can see the silver lining the minute I come up here like John at Portsmouth in Revelation. Once I come up here and see it in a different perspective. I saw this somewhere and I said, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. If you win, I win. Because we're going to share what God allows us to share. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent, on every 10 cents, and everything that was stolen, and everything that was just taken without my knowledge. I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. I saw this on Google and I said, okay, then I put a little sprinkle seasoning on it, okay. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to the rightful owner, cleansed and purified, no matter where we met originally in this place, okay, on this earth. Whether it was a universe, a world, a timeline, a dimension, or a realm, I sever the connection. The lessons have been learned, and I release you to find your own way. We don't need each other anymore. I got my part. I call all my energy fragments back to me. I am free. I am free. I am free. I apologize if you didn't get your part. I got my part of the lesson. I now release all energies, traumas, and patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, worlds, universes. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free to live my sovereign life as God has intended it to be. I sit in peace while I trust the process and I don't rush the process because it ain't going to move until it's time. Can we wait in silence when God is not speaking? Woo! Because he always talk about when he get quiet, I say, oh, this is a big one right here because he ain't saying nothing. But what I do have, let me tell you something, even though he ain't saying nothing, I still have billboards, I still have shirts, I still have, I still have stuff showing up. I help visionary women to bring their dream project to life so that they become the change maker the world needs. You a change maker. You're a paradigm shifter. You are innovator. You are an inventor. Okay, let's talk about it. Are you ready to step into your real freedom? Excuse me, confirmation, Bert. Do the work. Allow your dream to come to you and wake up excited for life. Let's make it happen together. Why do I say together? Because that you doing good, but there's always room for improvement. The life you want isn't far away. It's one bold step with support beside you. Let me tell you something. While you doing your work, I'm gonna be working with you, but I'm gonna also be checking on me, be like, where we at in this? Because you never stop growing until you leave here. Okay. Hi, my name is Renetta Chester, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC. Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being from my level of training and education. Mind, spirit, soul, and body. Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner. We pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tuner. Human design practitioners. We look at the generational baggage and that trauma. Mm. Let's talk about it because it's going to come from your great grandma and your great granddaddy and higher. Okay. On your mama and your daddy side. Okay. The wound care and that nourishment, that intuition, that reconnection to your dragon energy, that anointed, that burden removing, yoke destroying power of God, that demolishes that old self and you step into your new life. You know that life I'm talking about. When you go down in church and you give the Lord you give Jesus your Lord and Savior your life, and you say, I'm changing my mindset. I don't want to do that. And you ain't got to go to church to do that. You like, you know what, God, I don't want this jank of a motor life anymore. I want a new life. You ain't got to have a whole bunch of stuff. Just talk to God straight up. That untamed energy that changes your life forever to where you start saying, nope, stop, boundary. We go into the darkness to reclaim everything that belongs to you. We don't sing about it. We go get it by standing in the now to recover every piece of you left behind. When women and men heal, we heal 7 generations before and after. The womb is a portal to life, and men have one too. Let's talk about it. It's called the flower of life, which is in your belly. It is in your stomach. Women have a womb there, and men have a womb there. Okay, because you have a brain in your head, you have a brain in your heart, and your stomach is your third brain, which is where you give life to everything. That's why it's called the flower of life. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's remove all the mysticism and talk about it in a real way so we can gather it and use it in our daily lives. So when you respect and heal it, everything that comes from it is whole to lead future generations of leaders with intuition, empathy, strength, wisdom that is in the lines of King Solomon. Let's talk about it. King Solomon was the wisest man on earth. Only thing was King Solomon did not have access to Jesus. Okay. Jesus gave us a new paradigm of grace, which is God's willingness to get involved with human affairs if we allow it. Oh my goodness. See, King Solomon was wise, but he didn't have access to what the grace is. Okay, so when you put grace and the wisdom disclaimer, whatever you ask God for, you get a chance to become. And until you become it, you won't be getting it. Okay, when we heal, we change the atmospheres in the areas of the world. When people see a healed woman or man, they want to emulate that, and it becomes a row of dominoes or a domino effect. Everything just starts falling in place. Like everything just falling into place. People they don't need to be in your life. They're not there. You can see them every day, but they can't touch it. Then it's time for you to live out the live. Then it's time for you to take the live out loud dream activation session and understand what's keeping you stuck in park instead of driving towards your dreams. It's time for you to drive towards your dreams. It is time for you to see that dream that's in your heart show up in earth plane. How it works. Before we meet, you complete a short reflection to allow me to personalize the program to what your personal needs are. Then we will hop on a 45-minute call with me and you, because this is none of everybody else's business. Because you may need a little tweak or you may need a full paradigm shift. And we won't know until we sit down and talk. At the end, you will know how to identify exactly where you stopped and what makes you excited and why. And it's usually not what you think. It's usually a little tweak. And then because you've been starting and stopping, okay, you've been hard on yourself. Learn how to stay committed even when life gets tough. Because let me tell you something, it's going to. Because God, the system, the enemy, okay, is trying to see if this is your hobby or if this is your real dream that you're going after. Because your real dream won't let you rest. Reignite your imagination and give yourself permission to live how you see it. How nobody else sees it how you see it, because it wasn't a conference call. All under an hour. Investment, $97. We spend that. We go out with the girls. That's spent already at brunch. Okay. I have only a few slots each month, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. I came out on the other side. I wanted someone there for me. Now I get to be the person I wish I had on my side. Someone is not going to judge you because they went through the process. Again, when you're ready, I'm ready. God doesn't give you what you want until you let go of what's in your hands. Until you do this, God ain't going to give you nothing. How is that working for you holding on to it? God got something bigger, I promise. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Okay, and share this with someone and hit the bell so you know whenever I put out something new. Your chance to step into sovereignty is here. Once a month, I give 2 full scholarships to my transformational program designed to help you renew your mind and reclaim sovereignty over your own life. Okay, this is how it works. Number 1, you're going to go to my webpage. Number 2, you're going to go to the first page where it says connect here. Number 3, you're going to fill out that short form and boom, you're in a drawing for a free private session to get started on your journey back to you. Okay. And you're going to say, well, honey, I know myself, child. I thought I knew myself too. But see, I was just following everybody else's directions instead of asking myself questions that bring clarity, blindly believing everybody instead of trusting God, looking at Google for myself, and owning my own intuition. What do you need to question? What part of your life are you playing? And what mask you got on instead of looking at the real you? If we don't ask questions, we won't know. You've been asking for change. You've been feeling the pull. Now's your moment to show up for yourself. Okay, because you're showing up for everybody else. Everybody else. It's time to get out of the back seat and put yourself in the front seat so you can start driving. The only thing you have to lose is the weight that you've been holding on your back. Okay, Erykah Badu, bag lady. It's time to put it down. The only thing you have to gain is everything that's waiting for you on the other side of who you said you wanted to be. You already did the list. Now just become it. It's just that simple. The rest, I'll walk you through every step of the way. There are some freebies and a link to my podcast with the women's leveling up that was done in May. It was so good being there. You will also see 2 links, one in October, one in September, one local, one national with magazines. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed my own link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. No matter your background, this is a one-on-one book with me and God, just having a conversation with 45 pages behind each one so you can write down your thoughts, okay? Because I deal with all the players plus all the 5 senses, because you really have 15 senses when you put everything together, okay? Then there's notebooks and journals for all, coloring books for all that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind, I'm excited about this new venture. Why? Because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property, although I still got a lot of stuff from Amazon. Go check it out. This is Spiritual Laws 105 that govern the earth. It's a PDF. It's 45 pages per each one. So you might want to take this outside of your home and print it so you don't use up all your ink. And then you also don't forget about the Adjective and the Morals and Values PDF where you can change your whole persona. It takes 28 days to change your life. Get it together, honey. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for all the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Okay. Again, don't forget about your science project. Take a picture of yourself. Jeez, okay. Look in. Don't forget about that last link to receive 25% off your first order. That's the company that I use along with All Natural Remedies. When I received a diagnosis in 2017, I didn't take any cancer treatments, no chemo, none of that. Okay. I didn't take any of that. I just went to my backyard, listened to my ancestors. I went home because God told me if I took anything at the doctor's, I was gonna be gone in a week, and I said no, thank you, because I like seeing me. So I said I'm gonna stay me. Okay. So I just went ahead and listened to God. First, I went home and cried. Hey, God, what we gonna do? And then God said, call this naturopathic doctor. Did it. And then my ancestor said, go out there and get the dandelions. That's where you get your tea from at today. And they get that morning glory. Get the grass that smells like onions. I forget what it's called. I want to say it's grass or something like that. It's something to that effect. And poke salad. It looks like lettuce, but it's got serrated edges and it's got a little bit of fur on it. Okay. You'll see it when you go outside if you look down. If you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, if you go and look in the backyard, you'll see this stuff. Okay. If you're ever in survival, you can make it with this stuff right here. And then they have berries for if you just find yourself out there, they got berries and snake berries and different things that you can eat. Just pay attention and pay attention to what your ancestors say, because they ain't gonna put you out there like that. I've been hearing this hum of the ancestors all day. I don't know how to sing this song because I could just hear it in my head, but it's just one of those things that you can constantly hear. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I keep hearing it. Um, Also, just love yourself. Just love yourself. Make yourself top tier in your own life. Put yourself on a pedestal. Take everybody off that pedestal. Put yourself on a pedestal. Okay? Not a prideful pedestal. Excuse me, confirmation verb. But a pedestal to where you can say, I love me. All of me. Even the parts that make me nervous. Love all of you. Because when you do, you have more access to parts of yourself you didn't know you had access to. Also, I just want to thank God for being here. 2017 was supposed to be my last year on this earth, according to man, according to the medical world, according to what the big C can do to you. God said, I got some. Follow me. I got you. And I've been doing it ever since. Mm. Had to find myself a few times because got lost in got lost in the sauce, but I'm back. Mm. Father God, we doing all we can with what we have. Some of us was not given the best cards. I thank you again and again and again and again and again. I can't thank you enough. We were not given the best cards. And we're playing Uno, Trump, and Spades with the most horrible cards in the deck. And they told us to our face they gave us the most horrible cards. And we are whooping tail with the most horrible cards in the deck. We setting them back. We got all the books. We got all this stuff going on. And they like, I thought you said you ain't had no good. You ain't had no but a one in a possible. I said, that's what I thought I had, but I didn't know I had this. And God is talking in my ear and they looking at me like, what? I said, it's too hard to explain. If God wasn't talking to me in my ear, I'd be lost, child. Lost in the sauce. But I thank you that God is talking in my ear. I just want to thank you for being here because you could have been anywhere. But guess what? You decided to be here. I love you in the love of the Lord. And you keep going no matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter what you hear. Just keep flowing with God. Because God takes you the longest route because things have to fall off. Those hard edges have to get smooth. So you can have smooth edges. It doesn't feel good, but guess what? If you stay in it with God, you're going to be okay. And if you stay connected to the source, you don't have to worry about nothing because God is always going to keep you connected to yourself. All right. I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening. Good night.